Hi. Here we are on the next study in the chronological study of the Gospels. And today I'm looking at the foretelling of the birth of John the Baptist. So basically at this time in Jewish history, they were waiting for a Messiah. It had been a period of 400 years when they hadn't heard from God or seen any signs from him. So it was when Zacharias, John's father, went to do his priestly duty to serve in the temple. It's interesting to me, number one, that they were still being so faithful after that 400-year period of silence. But what a shock it must have been for him to get an appearance from the angel. Because it was just so, it had been silent for so long, and that would have been such a huge deal. So, but one of the main things that I took away from this was I actually looked at some of the history surrounding this period of time, because it mentions that Herod was the king at that time, or he was the ruler of that area. And you can read a little bit more about what his rule looked like. But I tend to separate my history class knowledge from my Bible knowledge. But when I looked up Herod, he was friends with Mark Antony and different other historical figures that I'm familiar with. And so it suddenly just kind of made this whole thing, rather than being kind of this cartoon version in my mind. Sometimes I see the kids' Bible stories in my head, but it sort of rooted it for me in this other history that I am familiar with, and it made it kind of all come together. So that was pretty cool. And there's a lot more in the study that you can take a look at and see about Zacharias' role. You may find that I call him Zacharias sometimes and Zechariah sometimes in my comments. That's because based on what I was reading, different versions spell his name differently. So, but anyhow, it was definitely a really interesting time. So I hope you enjoy this one.